So thank you, Kafa, for that talk. And she did tell me repeatedly, are you sure you want me to tell them all this? Not so reality. And I was like, yeah. Because I created an artificial environment where it was like you work with a team of women and you're supportive of each other. That doesn't exist in the real world. But I think I wanted to create this environment because I knew a lot of you, this was your first project, so you need as much support as you can. But in the real world, you're not going to get that. So that's why I encourage her to be as real as possible. And so somebody might be going, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Do I want to continue? And that is a question that you're going to have. It's not like you answer that question once. I've heard other female developers who go, I ask myself this question every 6 months. Do I want to stick in tech? This is a problem that as male developers, they don't have to ask themselves this question that often. It might be a burnout after a couple of years. And for them, the burnout was different because they face different obstacles. But for females in tech, they have a higher dropout rate. And it is one of the things, so what I encourage you to figure out is like, do you really like this? Because I know like a lot of the, boot camps that go, hey, come here, you can earn $60,000. So a lot of people do boot camps because they go, I like him to get $60,000. They don't tell you is that, yeah, but then at the first interview you might get into programmers where it's like all fratty, and then you stay there and you're like, this is not worth $60,000. I could do something else. So for me, it's a question of should you be in tech is, do you like it? And hopefully, and finding the support group, and hopefully if you like it enough and you find enough support group, they can help you through the bad patches that you will encounter. So sorry to end on depressing note, but that's why I had her give the talk to be realistic. So what's next? Just want to thank our speakers who came not only today, but throughout this course. We had multiple speakers, not just me, which I wanted you guys to see different areas of tech, because some of you might want to be developers, and some of you go, well, actually, after spending 4 months, I realized I don't actually like coding. Maybe you like some of the other parts of the project. Maybe you like the first week where you just came up with the idea, you thought about the idea. If you like that stuff more, then you can look at product development. Maybe you like, hey, that bootstrap design, the visuals, that's the fun part for me through this process. Then you can do that. Or some of you actually might like, oh, I actually like coding, and then continue doing that part. So that's why we broad range of speakers, and also like to thank the mentors on Slack who answered questions and all this other stuff. Where they all go, I think they might have left. But you can thank them on Slack, because if it wasn't for these people, this thing wouldn't happen, because I'm not going to do all that work. And mostly, I'd like to thank all of you for coming and finishing this and completing it. One thing is, when I had the idea for this project, this thing of, let's do 5 weeks boot camp, kind of a little mini boot camp, ask people to spend like 12 hours a week, and then I showed this to a couple of people, they go, hey, that sounds cool. I don't know if you're going to find anybody. But it's free. It's like, yeah, but you're asking people to work 12 hours a week. I don't know if you're going to do that. So, and when I put up the either Meetup or Eventbrite, there were probably 70 people contacting me. And as you can see, we don't have so many people here. We have 20. So a lot of people, they saw the thing, they go, huh. They weeded themselves out. I didn't weed anybody out. Everyone weeded themselves out. And that's what when she talked about perseverance and persistence, that's to me, that's the first step of figuring out if you are going to decide to pursue tech, you're going to need that persistence. Because like 50 other people looked at the thing and looked at the requirements and go, no, not even going to try. Not even going to try the first class, even though it was free. So that's persistence. So you each deserve a huge round of applause for actually doing this. And I know some of you feeling like, oh my God, like I covered so much, you're like, I have no idea. I maybe remember like 5% of what you said, but that's still 5% more than you knew 5 weeks ago. So that's huge. And then so that's the advance to that. So in the beginning, this was one of the first things I put, and was this workshops aimed at self-driven learners, basic knowledge, and getting experience in collaborative development, and yeah, you spend 12 hours. And the important part of this sentence was that self-driven learners, because what it does take, like she said, is persistence. I created an artificial environment where I gave you fake deadlines. You're gonna have to present every week. So you go, okay, we have to do stuff. Now what you have to figure out is that, okay, there's no artificial deadlines. How am I gonna continue? And that's the toughest thing you're gonna face, especially like if you're working full time, you have a family, if you have kids. You're going to have to find some ways, if you decide to do tech, something in tech, of how you're going to carve out these hours of continued learning, of continued making progress. Because I know when I finish a project, I will say most of you aren't ready for a job yet. Because it's your first time making a project. It's your first time touching a database, or even hearing about a database. So, so you will have to continue learning. And it's not just continue learning before you get your first job, it's continue learning after you get your first job. Like in your first, like for my 6 months, first 6 months, I was going home and reading and studying and continue learning. Because they would tell me stuff at work, I was like, oh, I have no idea what they just said to me. I'm gonna write that word down and go home and Google and read and learn about that. Because yeah, this company was supportive and they do understand, junior engineers need help learning, but they're still not going to let you go, hey, I can't work on that feature. I'm going to go deep dive into this one word for like 8 hours. They're not going to let you do that. So there is going to be continued education once you get your job, like the first 6 months where you're still like every night going, what's that, what's that, what's that? And then okay, in second year, okay, I don't have to spend 4 hours or 2 hours at night. I can spend maybe 30 minutes every couple of days learning something new. So, so that will continue. So what's next? Raise your hands if you want a career in tech. Okay, cool. Put out your other hand. Slap! You won't let pain, because what I've learned during my progress of going through these 2 years of going from non-tech to tech, is that I have met so many people who have said, I want a career in tech. And I go, okay, what are you doing to get there? I go, I just said I want a career in tech. Isn't that enough? Isn't there someone who's going to handhold me through the process? It's like, no. Unless you want to pay for a boot camp, but even then they don't handhold you. It's going to take you going every day going, okay, I want a career in tech. What am I going to do to get there? What am I learning to get there? So this is the perseverance again of going, what do I need to do? What steps I need to take to get to where I want to be? Because I don't really care if you want to be in tech. I want to know what are you doing. Which, if you notice and you ask me for help, sometimes I'm like not answering the question directly, and it's because and then you're like, why doesn't she just tell me the answer? It's because I want you to, part of being a developer is like, you don't know the answer. When you're in your job, you come across new problems, and you have to figure a way to find the answer yourself. yeah, and that is looking up stuff and learning and continuing learning. So that's kind of the thing you produced was just a byproduct. What you hopefully learned was how to learn. Of the idea of, oh, she lectured. Yeah, she gave me a lecture in 4 hours or lectures on Sundays. But then I had to go home and do more research. And then I had to like try it, and it blew up. And I tried it again, and it still blew up. And then, okay, it blew up for the 4th time. I have to ask someone for help, because I wasn't. So that process of learning yourself, trying it, failing. Oh, and then it succeeds. If you don't like that process, I would probably say tech probably isn't your thing. That's basically what tech is, even if you get paid. It's just you have shorter but smaller number of failures, hopefully. Or you'll know quicker how to work around the failures, but you're going to fail a lot. Even as professionals, like stuff's crashing. Why is this crashing? Looking at this thing for like 3 hours, why is it crashing? And then you ask the coworkers, come here, what am I missing? Oh, this, and so that's kind of what actually being a developer is. So if you didn't like it now, you're not gonna like it any better later. So added a new section to the site. If you go to our site /tech careers, you might have seen the email that I put to women in, what is our name? Women in Code. I did a mass email asking people to complete a survey about what it is, advice for people who want to join, get a career in tech. So people actually responded. So it's available for non-logged in users and logged in users, because some of the people had said, I want everyone to see my responses. Some people said, I only want people inside the group to see my responses. So if you log in, you actually see more responses. There's about 20 of them. Most of them are software developers, but some of them are UX or senior architects. And so you can look at the different careers and read the different profiles. And some of them did leave their emails or contact information. So if you read a particular bio that you're like, that kind of sounds interesting, I wanted more information, these people have volunteered to go, okay, these people I'm open to contact, so if you want more information, you can contact them. And then the question of what to do next, the hand slapping thing, that was basically the idea. And you have to figure out what to do next. So small exercise, just gonna take like 2 minutes. I want you to write down a list, or mentally, whatever you have, of something that during this project that you want to learn more about, that you had problems with, that you want to get better at for your next project. So
How long will the list be?
it can be as long as you have 2 minutes to write down of things of problems, of things you experienced during the project that you want to improve for your next thing. Okay, 2 minutes are up. You can continue this list, but the idea of this list is look at this thing, and you should be asking yourself, maybe once a month, every 2 weeks, okay, what on this list have I actually gotten better at? What have I accomplished? And everyone's list is, okay, I'm assuming everyone's going to have issues with Git, so okay. So I heard many complaints everywhere from Git. So I'm assuming that's one of them. But your list will be individual to who you are and what you want. Because I don't know what you guys want. You might not even know what you want right now. And that's what she was saying, Coffee was saying, that you should go meet us or go to different things and learn about different things. Because like, I taught a very small, narrow portion of tech, which is make a web app. But you might want to do other stuff, and you need to explore that and figure out what you like. Because to me, I think if you do something you like, you will more likely stick with it, and that will help you deal with the non-pleasant parts of this industry. Because if you try to get a job and you get a job you don't like, and with people you don't like, you're going to be very, very unhappy. And I don't think any amount of money is worth being that unhappy. But you might differ. You might go, I don't care. I'll just cry every day. Whatever. Exactly. I'll just cry with my pile of money. I don't know. And we got swag. Let me grab a bag. We'll pass them out. So I contacted some people, including my workplace, and they gave out free stuff. So, ooh, free water bottles. And then we also got like cheat sheets. I know I could have given this earlier, but I was like, I just got this in the mail. And then we got like some stickers and note pins and things from O'Reilly too, and from GitHub. And yep, and then the two things for because I do hopefully continue learning and education, and you don't stop here. We have a 20% off coupon from Lou. Oh, I probably should remember the name. Lou Rosenthal? It was one of the books that, yeah. Rosenthal, yeah. 20% off coupon for one of that book. We also have from realpython.com. They teach a course on Python, Flask, and Django. Normally it's like $60. They agreed with the coupon code, it's only going to be $10. And then, so if you're interested in Python or learning a framework for that, you can sign up for that. And they also offered the guy who runs it to do, he agreed to do like a free 1-hour session for our group where it's like, he's just going to do an intro to Python for our group video cast. So if you're interested in learning Python or just seeing it, that's a really good offer. And the cool thing, like for me, as you're trying to figure out what you want to do, to me, it's like learning JavaScript and Python. Not because they're the best or the fastest language, but because you can do a lot of different stuff. Like with Python, you can do all the machine learning and artificial intelligence and all the really technical stuff in that area. But with JavaScript, you can do experiment with the web and doing stuff like animation, and so you can get creative or you can get technical. So as you get, those might not be the most fastest language processing, but I think those give you a broad range of, you get to try and play with different things as you're trying to figure out what exactly you want to do. And then, so real Python and root book, and then I also talked to front-end masters, and they're going to give you a 1-year free subscription. And then that site does, they teach JavaScript and CSS. So there's tons of courses there. They'll teach you specific frameworks. They also have like some algorithms and bits and CSS stuff and learning JavaScript from scratch. If you don't know JavaScript, you can use that one. Or if you want to know more advanced JavaScript concepts, you can use that one. So that's your free stuff. And free stuff. And then we're having food, right? Food's here. So, and also have money certificates bagged out back, so you can grab the food and then, or you can grab the free stuff, whichever you want to do. So we're open. Oh yeah, that too. We're open.
Maybe on the stairs.
Yeah. So that's it. Hopefully you learned stuff.